Hello viewers, welcome back to Daily Retro. Today we've got another episode of retro gaming news and additions for you guys. So jumping straight into the news, it's been quite an interesting month to be honest. I've been keeping an eye on quite a few different things that have been popping up mod wise, and yeah, keen to share them with you guys. So one of them is a piece of hardware that I mentioned a few episodes ago. This is made by Angry Helder. He's a sort of American modder for mainly PlayStation style sort of stuff, and he has released the MC2 SIO memory card. So quite a mouthful, but this is available worldwide now. But essentially, this is a PlayStation 2 memory card, as the name suggests. But you are able to insert a micro SD card of up to 1 terabyte in size. So this is really interesting. It's a device that's sort of trying to undercut the price point of the Memcard Pros released by 8-bit mods. Those were priced at about £45. This is priced after import about £25 on Z Labs and other websites as well. So it's a really nice price point for those people who are looking to get into running their PlayStation ROMs off something other than using the disk drive sort of thing. The bus speed, I know for a fact, is much quicker on the memory card slot than it is running from a USB drive on the PlayStation 2. I think it's something like 1.6 megabytes per second rather than 1.1 megabytes per second. So if you are sort of running games off an external hard drive on your PlayStation 2 with the help of FreeBoot memory card, then it's a good solution. Still nowhere near as quick as a hard drive solution would be, but these hard drive solutions, obviously that is moving parts. This is all solid state, so I'm sure in time there will be more and more improvements to it, and it'll be actually easier for people to create these memory cards and SD cards for that scenario. So yeah, that's a really interesting piece of hardware and something I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for. I'm very keen to get one. I think I've already got a hard drive from my PlayStation 2, but there has been scenarios where the 2 terabyte drive I thought I'd upgrade to recently was actually too big for certain pieces of software to be able to put ROMs on it. It's a weird one. It should be easy, and it's not. So a bit more research is required on my end, I know, on that. But this is definitely an easier solution. So if you're looking for that, link is down in the description for that. So the second piece of news is just a new power board for the Famicom by Retro Game Restore. These guys have made boards for old consoles in the past. Very well renowned company, so you know they're going to deliver. I think this is a pre-order item for end of March, and as the clue is in the name, it's a brand new power board for the Famicom, but this uses nice clean USB power, which is more readily available nowadays than using the old power adapters. And these are quite a low price point as well, or aiming to be anyway. I'll leave a link for that down in the description, but if you've got a Famicom and you think the power supply is getting too hot, or you don't think it's going to last, then this is definitely a nice clean solution for you guys to go and get. So penultimately, I'm kind of late to the party with this, but so Retrobit, who are a very well renowned company for making retro controllers for consoles, and they recently released a Genesis or Mega Drive controller. This one's called the Big Six. Key is in the name. It has the 6 buttons for the Mega Drive or Genesis, and they've got a wired solution and a wireless solution. So this is going to directly compete with some of the other manufacturers, such as 8BitDo, who I have one of their controllers for my Mega Drive myself, the wireless version. And yeah, it's definitely one to keep an eye out for. I'll be interested to hear people's sort of comparison if they do have those controllers, because I know 8BitDo controllers, they do work very well as it is, but obviously another company wants a bit of that pie, so they've sort of released that product. And yeah, I'll leave the link for that down in the description for you guys to go and check out. And then finally, on the news front is the Atari 7800 has got a new game drive. So this is by a company called Retro HQ. They're most renowned for making flash carts for old consoles that sort of have FPGA chips in them for sort of emulating add-ons to the hardware. But this is the first time I've ever seen a flash cartridge have a video out on it. So this means what's on it is you can set a micro SD card like you would an EverDrive, etc. But it has a mini DIN video output on it as well, and it accomplishes this with an FPGA chip inside the game drive. And then this is basically the same as a I think it's the same as the Genesis 2 or Mega Drive 2. They can then output that to an RGB SCART cable. And what this enables you to do as a 7800 owner is output RGB signals without modding your actual console. So again, this is something I've not seen before. I can't, if you know better then please let me know, but I've never seen a flash cart have video out in it before. Yeah, really exciting prospect to have a product like that. That doesn't mean you have to actually do a soldering mod to your console, which can take time and money to actually get done, as some of you may know. And yeah, I'm really excited to see that product. I don't have a 7800 myself, but I'm sure some of you out there will. And yeah, really looking forward to seeing the reviews on that product when it does come out. So moving on to the editions, we haven't actually picked up that much this month. As of recording, I'm actually going to Black Country Games Fair tomorrow. But these are going to be mainly pickups from Doncaster. So I went to Doncaster Dome a couple weeks back now as the time of recording, and I went to the video game market. This is the biggest UK video game market. I've done a previous video on it. I'll leave a link for that somewhere. But I didn't have that much on my list, and I was kind of not picking up as much as I should, if that makes sense. So I was more busy chatting to people, to be honest, than I was actually looking for games on my list. I was more focusing on the rarer games on my list, and when I didn't find them I sort of ran out of time to pick up the sort of lesser priced titles. But yeah, without further ado, we'll go through some of those editions. So we'll start with oldest, and that is from Tooty's Stall actually. So thank you again for a deal on this, should I say. And that is WRC Arcade. Something I've actually not played before, but it was on the list as one of the sort of better rally arcade games, just because I love rally games, as a lot of you know. But this was priced as £5 and looks immaculate inside. The disc looked really, really good. And Tooty charged me £2.50, which I'm very grateful for. Keeps me doing me these amazing deals. Got to pay him back somehow at some point. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing that, so thank you for that. And then sort of in order of release date, we'll go with this was bought for my wife, so she was looking after Caden that day, so yeah, it took a lot of weight off my shoulders to sort of just be able to focus on the gaming market, which was really nice. So I thought I'd buy her something just to say thank you. And this is Tomb Raider Curse of the Sword. Not sure if that's going to focus, but it's a Game Boy Color game for Tomb Raider that I've not actually seen anywhere else, to be honest. It was priced at 15, managed to haggle down to 12. Later found out that it mostly goes for about a tenner on eBay, which is another point of Doncaster gaming market that is covered in my previous video. But anyway, and then we move on to the PlayStation 2. So we've got a couple of titles. Again, just cheap titles, but they were very, very nice condition, so I wanted to pick these up while I could. I think this one was from Light Gun Games. He's sort of one of the smaller sellers at the market, but definitely a down-to-earth guy and a really, really high-quality stock. So that is Gran Turismo 4. I don't believe I actually played Gran Turismo 4 all that much on PlayStation 2. I was more into Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. But yeah, A-Spec was a great game, and I can't wait to get stuck into this one. I think this is one of the only PlayStation 2 games, if I'm right in saying, that outputted 1080i resolution. So I'm sure it will look absolutely stunning via the RetroTink 5X. So I can't wait to get stuck into that. And then we have Colin McRae Rally 04, which I won't go into too much detail. It's a Colin McRae game. It's going to be good. One of the best series for Rally on PlayStation 2. And then penultimately, we have a PlayStation 3 game. So this is something that's been on my list for quite a while, and that is Batman Arkham City Game of the Year Edition. So I know Game of the Year Edition is not that sought after, but this was £3. It's insane. It's going to be full of DLCs, a lot of hours of play, and yeah, really can't wait to get stuck into it. And £3, well, you can't go wrong. This looked immaculate, so yeah, really can't wait to get stuck into that one. And then finally from the market, just got one PlayStation 4 title. I think this was £10, so not too bad for a relatively new title, and that is Need for Speed The Rivals. This is made by Criterion, so the same guys who make the Burnout games, which is part of the reason it was on my list. So you know it's going to have good crash physics, which I absolutely love. And yeah, I love the Need for Speed titles when they are a good one, and this was highly reviewed well. So looking forward to getting stuck into that. A series that I've not really dipped my hand in since like the PlayStation 3. So this is actually the first PlayStation 4 Need for Speed I've actually played. So yeah, looking forward to dipping my toes in and seeing how that feels. But yeah, quite chuffed to get that at a good price actually, from a stall that I didn't actually know that well. And then lastly, we've got the only AAA title me and my wife have actually bought on the PlayStation 5. Up till now it's been PlayStation 5 updates to PS4 games, if that makes sense. And those have been good, like the Witcher upgrades and stuff, they've been good, and Cyberpunk and things like that. But this one just blows everything away, to be honest. So that is very obviously RPG Hogwarts Legacy. Been waiting for this for, it feels like, an age, and was not disappointed, to be honest. It's been relatively bug-free, to be honest. It's a really fun RPG game. The wife is absolutely in love with it because she loves Harry Potter, and I'm very into it as well. It's such an open world in this game. It's nice that you can actually just go off and explore and not be sort of stuck into the story. Well, at least after the first couple of hours, which is the same with any RPG, to be honest. But yeah, highly recommend this to anyone who's thinking of getting it. If you have a PlayStation 5 and you like your RPGs, then it's a no-brainer. You really don't have to know much about Harry Potter to enjoy it. It's very much, you don't have to know much about it, and it gives you a good backstory to characters in the book series or the film series, if you like. So yeah, it's definitely worth picking up. We got an Amazon voucher for Christmas, so that was part of the reason we picked it up on release day. I can't remember the last time I pre-ordered a game. But yeah, really chuffed with that, and me and my wife are probably at least 7-8 hours each into it, and apparently it is at least 35 hours just for the main game. So yeah, a lot still to go, and yeah, really enjoying it. But that's it for this episode, guys. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for another episode. Cheers.